Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to go on this really unique journey across India. But this trip isn't guided by roads or rivers. It's guided by pillars of divine light. We're diving into the Jyotirlingas, 12 of the most sacred shrines in Hinduism. So let's get started on this spiritual expedition. So think about this for a second. What if a map didn't just lead you to a city or a mountain, but to a point of pure energy? A place where a god is believed to have actually shown up. Well, that's really the heart of the Jyotirlinga pilgrimage. It's a kind of spiritual geography that connects the land we walk on to the cosmos itself. So what in the world is a Jyotirlinga? You know, the name itself is a huge clue. Jyoti, that means light, and linga, that means mark or sign. So you put them together and you get a pillar of light. It's a spot marking where Lord Shiva, one of the most important deities in Hinduism, revealed himself as this infinite fiery column. Okay, so before we can really get a handle on these shrines, we've got to talk about the deity at the very center of it all, Lord Shiva. He's known by so many names: the Destroyer, the Supreme Yogi, the Lord of Dance. He's a figure of just immense complexity and, well, power. Every one of Shiva's symbols tells us a little more about his cosmic role. You see that trident, the trishul? That's not just some weapon. Nope. It actually represents the three big cosmic jobs: creation, keeping things going, and, well, destruction. His little drum, the damru, is said to beat with the very first sound of creation. That crescent moon in his hair, that shows his control over time itself, and the river Ganga flowing from it is like an endless stream of wisdom. And the tiger skin he sits on, that's a huge symbol of his complete mastery over our most basic primal instincts. All right, so now that we've got a feel for who Shiva is, let's pull back and look at the big picture here. These shrines aren't just isolated temples. They actually form this vast sacred network that stretches across the entire Indian subcontinent. So just how many of these sacred spots are we talking about? There are 12 primary Jyotirlingas. Each one has its own amazing story and its own special meaning, but when you look at them all together, they form a complete spiritual circuit. And wow, just look at this map. Their geographic spread is absolutely incredible. We're talking from the icy peaks of the Himalayas up at Kedarnath, all the way down to the warm southern coast at Rameshwaram. From Somnath on the west coast to Bayadinath out east, they really do chart the whole length and breadth of India, which means devotees from every corner of the country can reach them. And this is super important because this isn't just some random scattering of temples. For devotees, this is a dharmic map. Making the journey to see all 12 is considered this profound spiritual quest. It's a physical pilgrimage that really mirrors an inner journey, reinforcing the belief that Shiva is truly everywhere. Okay, but a map is really just a bunch of dots until you know the stories behind them, right? So let's bring this one to life. We're going to dive into the legends of a few of these incredible shrines. First stop, Varanasi. This is the spiritual heart of India, home to the Kashi Vishwanath temple. And this is where it all began, really. The story goes that the very first Jyotirlinga appeared right here to settle a huge cosmic disagreement between two other powerful gods. So picture this. You've got two of the most powerful gods, Brahma the creator and Vishnu the preserver, arguing about who's top dog. Suddenly, to settle it, Shiva appears as this colossal pillar of light that just goes on forever, up and down. He challenges them. Go on, find the ends. Vishnu turns into a boar and digs down, down, down. Brahma becomes a swan and flies up, up, up. But neither of them could find an end. It was infinite. And just like that, Shiva's supremacy was established. And that pillar of light, that became the very first Jyotirlinga. All right, now let's jump all the way down to the southern tip of India, to Rameshwaram. This story is fascinating because it connects two of the biggest traditions in Hinduism, the followers of Shiva and the followers of Vishnu. This whole thing is pulled right from the pages of the Ramayana. Lord Rama, who's an incarnation of Vishnu, by the way, is about to go to war, and he needs Shiva's blessing. So he sends his most trusted devotee, Hanuman, to go get a sacred lingam from the Himalayas. But Hanuman's running late. So Rama's wife, Sita, has this brilliant idea. She just scoops up some sand from the beach and builds a lingam right there. Rama consecrates it, worships it, and boom, that sand lingam becomes the Jyotirlinga of Rameshwaram. And that's what makes Rameshwaram so special. It's this powerful symbol of unity. It's a sacred place where worshippers of Vishnu and worshippers of Shiva come together, showing just how interconnected everything really is. Okay, for our last story, we're heading to Maharashtra, to the Grishneshwar shrine. And this one, This one's different. It's not about huge cosmic battles or epic wars. It's a really personal story about unwavering faith and incredible divine compassion. So there's this woman, Gushma, and her devotion to Shiva is just absolute. Every single day she would make and worship 101 lingams. But her sister becomes incredibly jealous and does something terrible. She murders Gushma's son. Now, can you imagine that grief? Yet Gushma doesn't stop her worship. She continues her daily ritual. Shiva is so moved by this unbelievable show of faith that he appears right in front of her, brings her son back to life, and, because she asked him to, he stayed right there forever as the Grishneshwar Jyotirlinga. You know, these stories are ancient, for sure, but they aren't just dusty old tales. The Jyotirlingas are part of this living, breathing tradition that is still so important to millions of people today. So yeah, they started out as these spots marking a divine appearance. But now, they are thriving, bustling spiritual centers. Some, like Somnath, are these incredible symbols of resilience. They've been rebuilt over and over again, and they're still evolving. Just look at the Kashi Vishwanath corridor, a huge modern project designed to make the pilgrimage easier for people today. So we'll leave you with this to think about. If these shrines really do form a map of divine presence, what does that tell us about the connection between a physical place, geography, and faith? The Jyotirlingas suggest that faith isn't just some idea in your head. It's something you can map out, something you can walk, something you can experience, turning a journey across the land into a journey toward the divine.